Declarations of conflict of interest?
None.
Can I get an approval of the agenda? Approved by Councillor Duffy, seconded by Swarshook. And an adoption of the minutes that were circulated from June 1st.
Yep.
Moved by the mayor, seconded by Councillor Bernard. And over to you, Bethany, for reports.
Okay, so we have our occupational health and safety report is attached there. So as you'll see, there's 93 orientations for employees this month, so it is one of our busier months. We have a total of 186 so far this year. 9 reportable incidents. 8 of those were no lost time, 1 was a lost time incident. We've had 3 inspection reports, 13 first aid, 13 AED trainings, and 93 WMIS trainings. And you'll see the details are listed there below about there was just a one day missed there for that lost time incident.
Anyone have any questions for Bethany?
Just on that report?
Yeah.
Beth Williams, any update on the hiring of the chief of police? That fall under your human resource support?
That would fall under the confidential section.
Oh, it is?
And the
No,
So we'll do that under closed session?
and the close, yeah, the close.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that in closed, okay.
The recruitment.
All right, so over to you, Isaac, for a communications update.
Yep, I'll keep it brief. The last big project we've been working on is Canada Day, which from a communication standpoint was very successful, all things considered. The rollout went well. There were a number of events, including flag raising and most of the stage events that got some really good reviews. Feedback on social media platforms from Canada Day was actually exceptional. Some of the most positive commentary and impressions that I've seen to date. And I'll give most of that credit to the events and tourism staff. Wayne, Laurel, and Charlotte down there did a really good job in a difficult position. Coming up next is a project we're working on beginning this week with our firefighters, doing a bit of a, say, expose and public relations piece around volunteer firefighters. We have a very diverse crowd over there. A lot of first-time volunteer firefighters who are giving back, coupled with a lot of individuals who've been doing this for a number of years. In the citizen satisfaction survey, you'll all remember that our firefighters were some of our most well-regarded components of city life here, so we thought we'd do a bit of a PR blitz to try and draw some good news and good attention to City Hall through our firefighters. So that's really the next big piece that we're working on. We hope to have the first steps out either late this week or early next, and have it running a little bit, photo ops, videos, testimonials over the course of the summer. We're trying to keep some attention on more positive aspects of City Hall.
Right up.
That's all I've got for right now.
Any update? I know we've had numerous complaints about our website. People not being able to find things. It's not a user-friendly website. So where are we at?
We have myself and Robbie are actually scheduled in for next Thursday to review our contract and have a bit of a back and forth with the current service provider. So we should know next week.
But they didn't do the web design. They're just maintaining the platform, isn't it?
Just the administrative.
Yeah. So it's not the admin part. It's the design, like, and it's the navigating of it that we need to look at, don't we?
I think it's, from what I understand, it's one service provider that facilitates the website, and the design is a component of that. If I'm incorrect, I'll get the contract.
Is that correct?
Yes. What's Civic Life?
Civic Life, and they may have went under a new name change in the last little while. It is something we're working at, but we have to find out exactly what our terms of engagement.
I think, Madam Chair, the search engine that comes up now under the City of Charlottetown website, when you're looking at something, the search is right there. So you put it in, that takes you to it. It's better than it was.
There are still people that can't find terms of reference. If you have to click 2 or 3 times, people give up. in comparison to other municipalities, our website needs a lot of love. It's not a user-friendly website.
It's a heavy site, too. There's a lot on that site,
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And I think that they clean it up, because if you have not a powerful laptop, you'd never be able, you wouldn't be able to download the content of the website. There's a lot of content. Go through it. Like, it's loaded.
Yeah, I just went on it, I just hit the terms of reference, I just hit the committee structure, come right up.
So the intent is, as part of the review, is to also look at its user friendliness and see if we make some changes on it.
Sure, yeah. And does that fall under the same thing as we talked about last night, improving the quality of our ability to hear the recording so that,
That was one that was coming up with the Rory on the tender for the meeting space. That was probably a better discussion.
That's in the Park Hill meeting space.
One is just our contribution.
that's under closed session?
Yeah.
Because it's nothing, this is it for open.
Well, who's looking for that, Madam Chair? Can I just say that for Canada Day celebrations, there was a great turnout down there at the Charlottetown event grounds. I know that Chief Junior Gould was very appreciative that it came together. I give him a lot of the credit for bringing so many people together, because he did a shout out on his Facebook page, and then he had an interview with CBC Radio. So overall, I think it's a good step forward. And spoke to Kat Murphy, who's with NCPEI, and she'd like to follow up with a meeting with Economic Development of some of the ideas that they're exploring for the First Nations here in Prince Edward, or more specifically, Charlottetown. And the events on the afternoon and the evening, it was cold, damp, but people showed up and stayed there, and it went over well. So it was a good candidate. It was somber. I think a lot of residents were reflecting on the day. But we always have to recognize that we're very multicultural, we're diversified, we're inclusive, and that's part of who we are as a Canadian.
What,
So there's a report done. We can add it to the open session. It's just trying to get the cops of the report.
okay,
That's for was meeting space, and then we also started talking about these changes as well.
right,
We update you what's going on.
okay. So he's gonna give us an update?
Yes.
Okay.
Go on 10 or 2, right?
So while we're waiting for that, does anyone have any introduction to new business? I think anything else falls under our closed session, so.
Okay, just wait. Yeah. And, Madam Speaker, just one other issue. I brought it up to Isaac. I know that Jen Gavin was responsible for the mayor's report. There was some amounts of how much it was costing. So I asked Isaac to look into the cost
Of what?
of the mayor's report, the annual report.
Yeah.
Now, the cost has gone down dramatically, because previously every household would get a report. Because of environmental issues, we're really promoting the social media platforms, or going to our site. And I think we only print off, I think Bethany, 1,000.
I feel like it was 1,000, but I could
reports.
I could be wrong.
So he's going to get an update on that. I think we've done, through this committee, we've done great efforts to reduce our carbon footprint by using our social media platforms, or our internet, our web connection to promote that report.
Thank you.
So, Madam Chair, if you wish, Rory will give you an update as to what's happening for the meeting upgrade. and any questions in regards to the council chambers, I can come in after that point.
Okay.
Before we go ahead.
Okay, so this was the, just meeting room video conferencing, just adding video conferencing for Parkdale, Sherwood, and West Royalty rooms. Went out to RFP, we had 4 bids on it, and the one that had the highest technical score also had the lowest price, so that's the one we're recommending.
So, so this will improve some of the complaints on the video, audio from our
So
council meetings.
this one is just for the meeting room video conferencing,
Right.
so it wouldn't cover the council chamber, but working on an RFP for the council chamber at the moment. And I can give you a rough outline of what the timeline looks like on that if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so,
Sorry, can we just finish this piece first and then we go
Yeah.
on to the council chambers? If that's okay.
Yeah. Could I just ask a question, Madam Chair?
Yes.
For the second page. Back when the bid comes out of Halifax, right?
yes, that's
They've
correct.
been doing- Well, actually, they set up this originally back in 2000. Skykes, Ignite, or Soundfix, are they all
Sykes Audio Visual is, I believe, out of Dartmouth, they're out of Nova Scotia, but they do nationwide.
Ignite
Ignite is out of Calgary or Alberta.
and Soundfix?
Soundfix is out of Charlottetown.
Why would we not be covering this room at the same time we're doing the video conferencing solutions for the other 3 meetings?
They're very different projects, and the council chamber upgrade is it's a higher level of technical skill. So in order to allow more people to take part in this smaller one, I decided to separate them out. It's just, it is a much more complicated one for the council chamber, so there's very few people who would be willing to take part.
Right, and we're not just looking at audio in here, we're looking at our whole system,
Yeah,
right?
whereas with the video conferencing, it's a very
New
long
camera,
project.
sound, the whole,
Yeah.
it's a bigger project?
Yes.
Yes, camera is version forward, and also the screen, this whole system, these things will all go, it'd be a total upgrade.
So what's our timeline for that?
If we want to go into that, it's looking to release that RFP sometime mid to late July. So by the time we can come back, we'd be looking at probably the September HR committee, and then hopefully get to council on the 13th of September. And then I would guess, but this is completely up in the air with the timetables on delivery of parts. I would guess it would be 6 to 8 weeks before completion. So we'd be looking at best case scenario, late October. I would not be surprised to see that get pushed back at least a month with delivery of parts being delayed.
And it depends upon the extent of the wiring and other things, this room may not be in use for council.
Well, and given the importance of it, I mean, we have so many special meetings of council, why would we have to wait till the September 13th meeting to approve?
No, it
Yeah,
has to go
okay.
through the tender process first. They expect the tender to be done by the end of July.
Right.
It goes for 3 to 4 weeks, then goes to HR and goes to finance, and it'll go to council for the September meeting. Approve that contract open by the end of October.
And when will this be done, Will?
This one, if we get this to council, the timetable was about 4 weeks.
And this should go Monday night.
This is, well, it doesn't,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys agree, and finance agrees.
When's finance meeting?
Okay.
Anybody have any questions for Rory? Okay, no new business. If not, we can have a resolution to move into closed session.
Can we move this first?
Oh, do we need a resolution?
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
What, council?
Can I get a resolution from somebody?
Finance. I move it.
Great, moved by His Worship, seconded by Councillor Duffy.
Yeah.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so now I need a motion.
Sorry, just have my,
But do we move it to closed session or are you just on that one?
So that was passed.
And who is moving that we move into closed? Okay. Deputy Cody moves that we move into closed session.
What rooms did you say this was gonna happen in,
Sorry,
right? West Royalty Road?
West Royalty, Sherwood, and Parkdale.